Hey guys, Ghost of Grief here, bringing you another match. OU Tier 10, same team as last time. Uh, Although the opposing team I went against was, and I thought, well, it was we'll just call it a toxic stall team because that's what it seemed like its base was. I'm not really positive. It really might not be. I'm not sure. But given the fact that almost everything toxic and protect or substitute, it's just toxic stall. We'll call it that. Of course, I'm going to be on the opposite side again. This isn't live commentary. I just happened to have the battle. I thought it was kind of nifty, and I thought that I would, commentate it. So he leads up with his Mamoswine. Nice little dragon killer. I'm not going to lie, it's a good Pokemon. I lead off with my Ferrothorn. I'm predicting to switch into his Magic Balance Espeon, since he would probably try to predict Hazards or Thunder Wave. I predict, though, so I use Giga Drain, get some damage off on it, which is, is always helpful. Although he has leftovers on his Espeon, which is kind of cool, because that way I kind of know it's not, like a dual screener using Light Clay. So, predicting a special attack, obviously from Espeon, I switch into Lax Luthor. My Assault Vest Special Defense Bulky Snorlax takes the hit like a champ, only 4.3% damage. And I figured, okay, if he's going to switch into something, I want to hit it with a Fire Punch. I was hoping he would try to predict Return or Body Slam and switch into his Trevenant. I was wrong. He chose Gliscor, probably also, because I believe his Gliscor uses Toxic for the first move. Now, this is where I thought I was going to lose right away. I thought, okay, Snorlax is Toxic, it's going to die in a few turns, I got to kill this thing as fast as possible. So I hit it with Mega Kick, and that's, I think, 120 base power, 1/4 chance to miss, and it's also Stab with Snorlax, so, that was a good amount of damage. Didn't kill it though, so a sad day there. I'm like, okay, Rock Slide, try to get some more damage off on it, maybe a flinch. He uses Protect, and then he's slowly gaining health in the process so he can get a sub up. Now I'm like, okay, crap, my Gliscor's got a sub up. I'm like, I gotta try to break this thing before Snorlax dies. I'm like, I should be able to do 2 attacks. But I believe he does use Protect again to protect his sub. Yeah, he does use Protect. It buys him another turn, obviously. Which is a bit of a downer. I use Mega Kick. I don't think I've ever missed once with Mega Kick, by the way. So that's kind of cool. And so I'm like, okay, Snorlax, you're whittling down on turns. I'm like, you gotta try to win this. So he tries to buy out with the second Protect. Thank God he doesn't get it, because that would have been kind of annoying. I don't remember what the rate of Protect is for failing each time you use it in a row. I think it drops by like 50%. A positive. So I'm like, okay, crap, I'll switch out to Ferrothorn. I was trying to get the Gliscor off the field mainly. I'm like, okay, if I switch out to Ferrothorn, he's gonna switch out to Espeon most likely. I'm like, he doesn't want to risk Hazards out in the field probably. So I'm like, he's gonna switch. I'll get some more damage out on his Espeon when he switches out, and I was right. I'm like, okay, I use Giga Drain again, get a little more damage off, whittling down his Magic Bouncer, which is always useful. So I'm like, okay, well, Ferrothorn can take, a hit from an Espeon. Espeon's not really going to have many moves. Maybe Shadow Ball. Not too positive. So I thought, okay, I'll lead out with Flesh Ribbons then, or switch out with Flesh Ribbons. And I was going to Hyper Beam whatever came out. Not really not a good battle strategy, because he switches out to his Blissey. Then I'm like, crap. But the surprise thing is it still takes 31% damage. So it says down there anyway, which is kind of mean. I mean, Blissey is a special defense wall, and it also knows Toxic, which is why I thought the purpose of this team might be a stall team, because I can see Gliscor using Protect, Blissey using Protect, Blastoise maybe, I'm not positive. There's lots of setups for Blastoise and Mega Blastoise. So I'm like, okay, crap, we'll switch out to Ferrothorn again, get this thing off the field. I was predicting the switch. Again, he does not want to risk Hazards whatsoever. Although I don't think he switched out. Yeah. So I ended up switching out. I was trying to predict him to switch out to Espeon. So I was going to switch out to Charizard. In which is Mega Charizard X. This actually works out for me in the long run. I'm not going to use Dragon Dance, get 1.5 attack, 1.5 speed. This is what I managed to almost sweep that guy's Uber team with. I think I got like 5 of them or 4 of them with Charizard X with only 1 D-Dance up. Now he switches out, I believe, into his Trevenant first. He's probably going to predict I don't know what he was predicting, a Dragon Claw or something. But I used the time to get up another D-Dance. I knew that he wasn't going to Seismic Toss again because it really didn't hit that hard. So I'm like, okay, I'll get a second D-Dance up with whatever he switches into. And then I'll, well, since it was Trevenant, I'm carrying Fire Punch solely for those nice little grab grass types, plus the stab, obviously. Now, out comes Blastoise. Now, this would normally be a really smart play, but I'm a Mega Charizard X running ×2 attack and ×2 speed, and unfortunately for him, I'm carrying the Thunder Punch. So it was a sad day for him right there. I mean, I would have been cursing at my computer probably. So out comes Mamoswine now. Now, Revenge Dragon Killer, obviously. Now, the only downside to this for him is well, neutral to ice damage, given the fact that Charizard X is also part Fire type. So Fire Punch drowns Mamoswine with I think a critical hit, if I remember right. All he has left now is Blissey, Espeon, and Gliscor, but my Charizard X, however, has fainted due to toxic damage. It is a sad day, but he managed to kill 3 of his major threats. So out comes Ferrothorn again. I'm thinking, okay, I'm hoping he'll switch out to Espeon again, and I'll switch out to Dart. Dart being my Dragonite, named after the Dragoon, Legends of Dragoon main character. So I'm like, okay, well, I take a Seismic Toss. It hurts quite a bit, surprisingly. 30.9%. He uses Toxic again. I kind of saw that coming. I wasn't too fretting, though. I was hoping I'd kill Blissey before Toxic took over, so I Dragon Claw, do 64% damage. Now, he goes off for another Seismic Toss. Now, he can use Protect, stall for some more Toxic damage, which it wouldn't kill Dragonite, and then on the next turn I would kill his Blissey. So either way, his Blissey dies, which is amazing. So that leaves 2 Pokemon down, or 2 Pokemon left, my bad, which would be his Espeon, which could possibly be packing Dazzling Gleam or Gliscor. So out comes Gliscor, and I'm like, okay, knowing him with his Toxic Stall, he's going to use Protect and try to stall me off at that last bit of damage. I go, I can't let that happen. So I send out my Ferrothorn. My Dragonite could still live, and then maybe manage to get an extreme speed off eventually. So I'm like, okay, Ferrothorn will come out. Obviously, he's going to switch out to his Espeon, which I used Giga Drain predicting this again. I don't think I ever once tried to use Hazards or Thunder Wave on this battle because I knew Espeon was there, and until that thing was dead, I didn't want to risk it switching in and getting Hazards on my side of the field. I was right, though. He was packing Dazzling Gleam, which unfortunately for him isn't going to do a lot to a Ferrothorn. Steel resistance, baby. So his Espeon's whittling down. I'm like, okay, I can kill this thing, no problem. Now, unfortunately for me, his Espeon is carrying Morning Sun, which is kind of funny because I really didn't see it coming, but I got a critical hit, so I replaced some of that damage. He healed up right away with 31% going back. So I'm like, okay, I gotta kill this Espeon. I'm going to switch out to my Sylveon. I'm going to take whatever hit he sends at me, and then I'm going to Hyper Beam it. Now, of course, I thought, he was probably going to switch out to his Gliscor. It's only grounded flying, isn't it? Yeah, it's grounded flying with Toxic Heal. So why he switched out, I'm really not too positive. Because, it's not a poison type. It just has Toxic Heal or whatever. So it's not really going to be able to take a Hyper Beam from a 150 base damage stab because of Pixelate Hyper Beam. Now, unfortunately, after that, he forfeited. I probably would have been able to kill the Espeon no problem, either with another Hyper Beam or something else. So, it was a good match, though. I was definitely afraid that he was going to Toxic stall my entire team. But we managed to make it out with only Zuko dying of Toxic damage. Dart came close. Snorlax came close with only 4.8%. Dart with 1.2%. And Flush Ribbons with, I can't check how much health she had left. She's active. But she has more than 50, it looks like. 57. Says it right there. My bad. So we did pretty good. Didn't make any bad calls with Hazards, predicting the Espeon to come in. I did over-predict, though, thinking he would switch in with Espeon when he didn't, although it didn't come to bite me in the butt at all. So overall, it was a good match. Lots of good calls. Good predictions. And, well, Zuko did its job again. Took out his 3 things that I was mainly afraid of. So, good game to my opponent, Kinger556. Whereas I do not like your tactic of Toxic stalling, it is effective. Till next time, guys.